Ho ho, me hearties! A very good evening to you. It's me, Scottie McCLUE. It's Saturday night. Nothing gets past me. And it's the internet phone-in. How amazing is that? 1 hour of superb, scintillating information, education, and entertainment for not just one nation, but for every nation across the world. Welcome, 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 I say. So much to talk about and so little time to do it in. And of course, great subjects for discussion tonight. Dinky Doo, welcome to my live. Now, if you can follow me as soon as you come on, that would be just amazing. Very, very important. So get following as soon as you can. We're only up for an hour and it will pass in a flash. I can tell you that for nothing. So there you are. I tell you, hey, Dinky Doo, hey, Sir Albion. How lovely to have you with us, and a big dinky do to you, of course, and welcome to Scottie McClue's internet phone-in on Saturday night. Lots of you joining. That is absolutely brilliant. Tell 10 to tell 10. Share and share and share the video. I think that's important as well. Hello, how are you? Says the wonderful Kareem. Hello, Scottie McClue. Hello, Kareem. Great to have you with us, dinky do. I don't know if you're up for a call tonight, Kareem, but what I'll do is I'll open up the lines and, of course, stay on to make sure that we get the sound that we are looking for. So you should be able to get through now, and we shall sort out the sound as soon as you come on. Just bear with us. That's what it's about. There we go. Now, there we go. Stay with me. You're live on Scottie's phone-in. How are we doing? No, that's fine. Don't you worry about that. There you go. Right. Is that better?
I can hear you now, Scottie.
Yes, I think we're cracking it, Kareem. We seem to have a slight difference. One uses one mic and the other uses the other, you see. So I just have to sort of switch between the two.
Right. Okay.
Now, it worked absolutely fine for the first year. So we don't know. But anyway, there it goes.
Yes. Hello, Scottie.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, how are we? I feel it's been a wee while since I had a wee chat with you.
It's been a million years, and I was just wondering how you were. How are the joints doing?
I'm fine, Scottie. Yes, not too bad. I've
Good.
been upping my game, so I say, at the gym. I'm trying to go 4 or 5 times a week now, get myself fit and fit. And yeah, but my car broke down again today.
Oh, no.
I said a wee while ago, so that was quite a...
No, that's not so good. Yes, I hope it's not going to become a bit of a money pit. You have to keep an eye on these things.
Yes. Well, to be fair, it's not had too much, but the last time the guy did, I think, half the job to see if it would be okay, so now I think he's going to have to do the other half.
Right, excellent. Yes, I understand exactly where you're coming from. Now then, good things. I'll tell you what I heard today, Kareem. It was a lady on a video saying that men can get pregnant. She was asked outright about all the new woke things and different genders and what have you. And somebody was saying, can a man get pregnant? And she said, yes. And I thought to myself, now, is this, are we at a high risk here, you know?
I think, I'm not sure of all the ins and the outs, but I think if someone transitions and gets all the body parts, it can be plausible, but then they wouldn't be a man, would they?
Right, well, no, that's the thing. And also, is there a risk to the likes of myself of getting pregnant, you know? This is, I mean, should I avoid certain foodstuffs, you know? Very interesting. Now, what's doing with your good self? We've had a very interesting week. I've been explaining a lot about the monarchy, of course, and I've been explaining about the national anthem, and you still have the half-wit that thinks because we sing Flower of Scotland at a rugby match or a football match, that's the Scottish national anthem, where, of course, God Save the Queen is the Scottish national anthem, you know?
Yes, no, I completely understand that. I think I've seen some of the stuff from the videos as well. It's God Save the Queen, God Save the King, and that's probably what it will always be. I quite like how we have Flower of Scotland as
we love it.
Unofficial national anthem.
Yes. Well, somebody had sung it as a ballad. And all the people were coming along going, oh, that's not the way it's sung. That's not the way it's sung. It's sung with thousands of voices and the pipes. And I thought that's the way it was originally sung when Roy Williamson composed it.
Yes.
And he based it on the chorus of the Hebrew slaves from Nabucco, the opera.
Ah, right.
You know, so if you remember, you'll be familiar with this. Speed Your Journey. It goes da ra dee da ra 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 da dee 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 dee, and Flower of Scotland goes, "Oh, Flower of Scotland," and then it changes a little bit. So he'd kind of based it on that, and it was sung very, not gently, but as a good, strong folk ballad at the Corrie's concerts.
Yes.
You know?
No, I think, like, there's people, I just think some people aren't, in their eyes, they don't like change. And,
yes.
You know, and although it's not a change because it is the original, as you were saying, Scottie,
yes.
I just think in their eyes they're just not used to change. Or I think society is struggling at the moment because I think a lot of people are getting really.
Well, you see, I'll tell you, I can remember playing "Oh When the Saints Come Marching In" on the piano, and somebody saying, "Oh, you can't play that. That's to do with football." And I thought, no, that was around long before football.
Yeah. I can remember playing that in school myself as well, but I always remember the beginning, so I always struggled for the remainder.
Yes, absolutely. Now, Kareem, can I just read out some wonderful things here? Hi, Scottie McCLUE. Hello, remember me. Good evening, Captain from Norwich, says Neil. Arthur says, Scottie McCLUE. Yes, I'm pregnant and I am a boy. So there we are. Scottie, I'm due next month. I'm going to call him Jim Loving the Big Man, Dinky Doo. Can you let us on? What a joker, says Arthur. Hi, mate, quick question. Have you seen any answers? So I haven't seen it, so I don't know what he means. I love your beard, says the unknown. And who else have we got? The chap you're talking to has got his head in a bucket. That's you, but it's just the sound they're talking about.
Ah, right.
You're sounding very kind of echoey.
Back inside.
Ah, that's it. You're outside.
Right, I'm back indoors now. We're walking the dogs.
Oh, wonderful. Ah, right. Excellent stuff. Anyway, it's fine. So, what are you thinking about things, Kareem? Because you've got a lot of wisdom.
Well, I know some people might be feeling bored, but I actually feel so excited, and I've not felt excited like this in a long time, Scottie, because, as you know, our First Minister has launched the campaign, and it is now set for October 2023, and I just feel this is it now. The time has come for us to wake up. The time has come for us now to start talking and educating. Now, we're always going to have the half-wits, but I do think there's fear, and you can see that within the unionist media, and you can see that within the unionist parties within the parliament, and so they should be, because I think Scotland should be waking up and to get rid of this Minister.
They've done a lot of damage to Scotland, the unionist parties. I mean, they've done terrific damage over the last 60 years with beaching, cutting the rail network. Now, that might be fine in the southeast, but it's a totally different world in Scotland and the Highlands.
Yes.
You know, so we do really need people who are familiar with where we live.
Yes. Well, I found it interesting earlier, Scottie, because obviously there's so much now on Facebook, etc. There was a group, a Better Together group in the city centre. There was a picture taken, and obviously it was with the Union flag, but all the flags they had around their stall was the Union flag surrounded by the Queen. And I thought this is going to be one of their tactics again, that, as you've always said, the monarchy goes nowhere. I actually think, and I think that the Yes movement, there's been a lot of division since 2014 with a lot of people, but they have to come together, and they will come together. Let the politics and the shaping of the country come after a yes vote. And that's a true democracy. But I do really believe that for the unionists, for the ones that support the monarchy and make that jump for a yes, I do believe they have to have the St Andrews, the Scotland flag, with the Queen on it as well.
I absolutely go there. I don't think that's a problem at all, you know, because the Queen is the head of state for Scotland. And, you know, the flag of Scotland, you've got the lion rampant is the royal flag. And and you've also the lion rampant is on the royal ensign. The royal flag. So it shouldn't be a problem. Very clearly.
Well, I think that once now you'll know the dafties, they'll be why is the Queen on the Scotland flag? She's this, that, and the next thing. That's going to put debate and that's going to get people talking. But I do think if you're trying to get people over to your side, which is a yes, and you're going to have to show, well, the monarchy is part of Scotland. Well, let's be honest, it is Scottish, as you've explained previously. Then we need to put that across. So these numpties that are saying the monarchy is going or X, Y, and Z, they need to shut up.
Well, they're the ones that are going to kill off independence. They don't understand it. They can't get their head around it. But as soon as they come out with a republic, independence is toast. Trust me. And I'll tell you for why. Because here's the real background to it. The crown is apolitical. Independence is political. The Crown unioned in 1603. The Crown united in 1603. Long, 104 years before the parliaments. We're talking about splitting the parliaments, not touching the crown.
Yes.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it's not even connected. I mean, if you asked me to come up and tow your car away, I don't tow your house away. You see, and it's just, I mean, I know that's a crazy analogy, but it's just like that. It's nothing to do with it. And these halfwits need to learn to either shut it or start supporting the monarchy big style.
Yes, well, I said to some people that, listen, what would you rather, an independent Scotland, or you're going to say, no, we want republic, and blah, 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 and then people are going to vote no. And some people said, well, I want the republic first, I don't care. And I think, well, I'm sorry, you're not putting Scotland first then, you're not putting people...
They're not putting Scotland first. If they genuinely care about Scotland, as I've said many times, an anti-monarchist is anti-Scots and anti-independence.
Yes. Well, I had somebody else as well, because I said that, listen, the 56 pence that goes towards the monarchy, etc., that's a year, that's nothing, as you know, Scottie. And then you had the numpty yesterday saying about, well, when they're giving out all these, the OBEs and all this all comes out the public purse, they need to scrap that.
No, all these honours were brought in to bring the people closer to the palace. So what you're doing is shooting the people in the foot if you're taking away the honours.
Well, I think if anybody was offered that, they would jump at the opportunity just to go and see that, to have the experience and to see royalty. And I mean, I don't understand, Scottie. I really generally don't understand what the issue is or the problem.
There isn't an issue. It's a chip on the shoulder. If they're brought up like that, then that's the way they're going to be.
Yeah, but they need to open their minds, Scottie. They need to be, a bit broad. But I was thinking, if it is a no, before I go, but if it is a no vote, then I really think that the SNP need to stop mitigating everything, because the argument can be put across that if people still continue to vote to be part of a United Kingdom, then stop paying for the bedroom tax. Then council tax should go up here in Scotland. Now, people are going to shoot me down for saying that. Well, why? Because we're the cheapest compared to the rest of our neighbours. So if everybody wants things to be the same as the rest of the UK, then a lot of things are going to have to go up in price here just to model it. I might sound a little bit immature, but you look at your prescriptions. To write a prescription, you get charged then to get whatever it is. You get charged for that down south as well. The healthcare, there's so much things that we take for granted up here, but people would absolutely have a culture shock, Scottie, if they actually had to pay what the rest of the UK are having to pay. And I just think they really need to appreciate what we've got.
What we've got, absolutely. I mean, use it or lose it. And I think if it's a no this time round, we need to be very careful that we don't acknowledge any unionist media. You just think, no, what's that paper in? Oh, forget that. And people need to do that. They need to this time only be influenced by the facts. Where do you get the facts? Scottie McCLUE.
Well, Scottie, listen, I know you'll be doing lots of TikTok videos on the build-up and lots of information about the monarchy and really push. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to people calling in as well. But I'm also looking forward to the numpties that are going to be putting comments on the Facebook.
Well, they can't back it. There is
the lack of education that they're going to have towards this.
Yes, there is no case for the Union. There never, ever was. But Queen Anne fabricated the case and then had the brilliant idea just to bribe the nobles.
Before I go, Scottie, if you get a chance to see it in any of the social media, I won't name the politician. It was a Conservative MSP, and he was in one of the news earlier on, and they asked him a question: should England not just kick Scotland out? Mm-hmm. And he actually didn't realise what he's done, but everything that he went through stating that Scotland has the best universities, you don't realise how much of the
I saw it. Everything we would lose.
He went through everything, but he was talking as an English perspective, although
yes.
Scottish. But it was really, you think, wow, he has just made the case for independence.
Absolutely.
110%.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also, Boris the other day saying, look, the Scottish people voted and, they made their decision in 2014. Now, he's not acknowledging the damage that's been done by Brexit and the contempt that Scotland were treated with during Brexit.
Yes. Well, that's a generation ago. They said after that, do you have to wait a generation? This is a generation now. We're at 8 years. Next year's going to be 9. You're going to have the negotiations, etc., if it's going to be after that. And then we'll be deciding about the EFTA, which I do think we should go into that because that takes 3 months to sign up to. Mm-hmm. And then after that, if we want to continue, because EFTA is the same benefits of being in the European Union, we have movement and trade. And then after that, if you want to do a full licence to Europe, then there'd be a referendum. So there's a lot of things I think people need to wake up and think of the benefits here and get their head out of this. Russia, if you're looking about is it GPD or etc., mm-hmm. Russia is down at the bottom beside the UK. We have got the slowest growth, and we are
the UK. The only one with less growth is Russia. We are the lowest growth in that group of countries.
Yes. Yeah, so there's a lot of things I think people are going to have to wake up, and if they really seriously want to have a better future, they're going to have to do something about this. So
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to the re-energise, the passion that we had up in the build-up to 2014, but we have more facts now. We have a lot of things. I don't think Boris will be Prime Minister at the time of next year. I think we'll have a new Prime Minister. The Tory party will have no option at that time or the build-up to get rid of him.
But I have to say, without mentioning any names, they are really going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel, because the candidates that I've heard mooted are not particularly strong, shall we say.
Well, that's more benefit for our excellent politicians that we have up here.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the live debates and Alex Salmond is putting stuff past, there's no grudges, they're together, they're full yes movement. There's going to be quite a positive outcome. I'm really hoping people are going to wake up, get their head out the sand, do a bit of research. Let's get this country moving forward.
Fantastic.
Thank you, do.
Kareem, dinky do to you, and have a lovely evening. Thanks again.
I'll be listening, Scottie. Thank you.
Bless you. Thanks, Kareem. What a great call. Right, that's our Kareem. He comes on most nights, does a superb call. Who have we got here? There's the wonderful Murray O'Donnell, is watching the US Open with a beer. There's the wonderful Gordon Roddick. Hi, Scottie. I haven't managed to tune in for a while. I hope you're well. Absolutely, Gordon, and so glad to hear from you. Just lovely to know that you are there. Fantastic. Tremendous. Now, wonderful Murray. There we have it. Now, Boris has had too many parties, says Chris. Scottie, says Oliver. So there we go. Now then, do you think Northern Ireland should leave the UK, says Paddy? Well, Paddy, does Dublin want to pick up the tab? Because I think Northern Ireland at the moment is quite high maintenance. Arthur Skullface says, you're so funny. There we go. Tremendous. There's Eileen has followed us. Scottie, you're a bam. Not at all. There we are. That bloke needs his hard drive checked, says Caspar. What have we got? Scottie, can you come on my radio show, says Jad. Argued with you on the phone many years ago. I won, says Eileen. Eileen, I don't ever remember a caller winning, so I'd be very interested to hear what makes you think that. Should Ireland be united? Well, it's been... it more or less is united in so many ways. Your day came 100 years ago. There we are, but we still have the 6 counties annexed. Hello, Scott, says Harry. Hi, Harry. Vote Conservative, says Conservative Joe. That's surprised at you, Joe. Support our monarchy, absolutely. But the monarchy is nothing to do with Conservative. It's apolitical. And the monarchy is basically a Scottish institution because the Scots took over the English crown in 1603. There we are. And it's British. We are all British, regardless. There's no such country as Britain. So it amuses me when you hear the politicians say, I love this country. What country are they talking about? There's a choice of 4. Fantastic. Sorry, says Conservative Joe. Not at all. United Kingdom should never break up. Why, Conservative Joe? Give me one good reason why not, because I can give you 100 reasons why immediately. All right, so there you have it. It's all very well saying the United Kingdom should never break up, but should it have ever been together in the first place? This is what we need to know. A no vote could see a crisis in Scottish identity and confidence. This is true. I mean, there was one the last time. Hello, I want to play as well. You're so funny. Have to be happy with your birthday. Greetings from Inverkip, Scottie, says Shuggy. Shuggy, we love it. There's Hyperdyne, says they're transgender. So there we are. Welcome, transgender person. Do you think Labour have a credible leader for a prime minister? Kulelo, I think... yes, credible, but I mean, I can't see that being the next step for this country. Put it that way. Who have we got here? Hang on. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello? 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 One more time. Hello? Nah. They couldn't handle it. There we are. They were listening to themselves. You need to turn that down and answer the phone. That's what you have to do when you come on. Evening, Scottie. Did Her Majesty pay for the Andrew compensation out of the Duchy? I would doubt it very much, but it certainly hasn't cost the taxpayer, I can tell you. And I don't know if it would even be addressed as compensation. It was just an amount so that it didn't overshadow the Jubilee. Hello, Scottie. How are you doing? Dinky Doo Sam. Good evening. Well, lovely to have you with us. I personally believe we should have Labour in power and Sinn Féin helping. Wow, see, Murphs. Any chance of that, do you think? Personally, I say no, but the basis of every conversation is respect, so I respect every conversation. Okay, Sam. So there we have it. The man whose knowledge is only outmatched by his slicing wit. Mr. McCLUE, how do you do? Kirby the Annihilator, how lovely to have you with us. And dinky doo to you, I say. That is quite fantastic. Who else have we got here now? Wait till we see. I'm just going to see if I can check something here, guys. Just doing a wee bit on the settings. Yes, for the phones, checking everything's still working. I think it's very important so to do. So just bear with me. I know I'm sliding you about here, but just bear with me, and we will see what is what. Yes, I think we're doing all right there. That's wonderful. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
How you doing, Scott? It's Rob.
Rab, are you dinky doolah?
I'm sound, my man.
Good, my man. Are you enjoying the old phone in?
That's brilliant. You should get that this back in the radio or even go better and go do one further on the telly.
Oh, this would be huge on the telly. There's one or two new television channels opened up, but I cannot get the message across to the people that run them how I operate and how good it would be for them, you know?
Oh, but you would smash it, mate, honestly.
Oh, it'd be absolutely huge. Because, Rab, what we'd do is what we're doing here, but we'd take all the texts, all the emails, all the phone calls. The lovable lassie would be there answering the phone for us, sharing everything round the world, you know?
Is she still there? I can remember that in your Scott FM days. The lovable lassie.
The lovable lassie. I'm still in touch with her. I still hear from her. She was fantastic.
She was brilliant.
You know, absolutely. And every day I reach out. That whole Scott FM thing was outstanding, but they could not contain their jealousy and they had to dump it. They just couldn't handle it.
Not your fault, is it?
There was nothing I could do about it, Rab. I just had to go down south and work down south and enjoy it.
You should have started to open your mouth and tell me, shut up, you know what you're doing.
Aye, well, that's it, but they don't get that. You see what I mean? They think, oh, no, we're the management. He can't possibly know what he's doing, you know?
Well, obviously you do look we are the now.
This is it. And I'll tell you, Rab, in 1 week's time, I think it is, yes, a week on Monday, 30 years of phone-ins.
Are you on this new channel with Piers Morgan and that?
Yes, I like the idea of that. You see, I wonder if they'd be interested in a show.
I'll phone Piers in a minute after, because you get caught on this.
Get Scottie McCLUE on this and then start doing some business.
I think if you go on to Scottie, the TV channel will get shut down.
No, well, you see, the only thing is you've now got all this political correctness, like this lassie today saying that men can get up the duff, you know.
Oh, I heard that and all that. That's a lot of stupidness.
A lot of nonsense.
See when you were on the radio, Scottie, and the phone, and I think it was either Real Radio or Scott FM you were on, or whatever it was. And you kept on about pregnant women being pregnant.
Aye.
You said something about that, and that was all over the papers and everything.
Oh.
I'm like, I was like, what the? That's near enough sparing that. That's what's going on here. It was a laugh.
It was good stuff, and it actually brought people's difficulties and problems out to the surface.
Aye. I think I phoned you one time when you were on and said I had women problems.
Aye.
Periods and that, and you just went after not on me.
Did you and I not have a couple of calls in our day?
A few. a very, very few, trust me.
Absolutely. But it's good chat. And I just think that any kind of quality talk about what we're all going through at the moment is good. You can't fault it.
See, at the end of the day, see what you're doing, Scottie. It's a laugh and they bring everybody together. If nobody can get a laugh, don't bother.
Well, this is what it's all about, because nowadays, what do we have to laugh at? Where is the comedy? Where's the funny television? I don't know what you're like, Rab, but I go through my telly. I've got hundreds of channels, and I think there is nothing here I want to see. Nothing.
I've got Sky and they're not, all these channels. They're nothing on it.
Nothing that you want to see. It's all stuff that you think, this isn't suiting me at all. And the thing about Scottie McCLUE, when we were on Scott FM and we were doing the telly and the radio and the newspapers and all the rest of it, it was suiting the people. There was something they wanted to listen to.
See with you, Scottie, what you do is what you get. That's it. There's no up and downs for you, dear. That's it.
There's not. We're just giving them the facts. We're saying, right, now that's your imagination. Here's the truth. That's all we're saying.
But sometimes people can't handle the truth.
Oh, they don't like the truth.
Oh, no.
No, especially nowadays. The politicians can't handle the truth.
Even your man Kareem there, come on, I didn't like him. I don't even know the guy, but I thought he was... But he talks a lot of truth, but...
He does. I mean, I think the only reason people don't like Kareem is because he's very good at what he does.
Exactly, 100%.
You know? And there was a guy, now, you maybe remember these two guys, Rab, because they were very big at the time. Nicholas Fairbairn, the lawyer. Aye. And the other one was Maurice Lindsay, the poet and writer and critic. And they met each other one day. They were, you know, I mean, Maurice was a good Glasgow man, and Nicky lived through, he was an Edinburgh man, lived through in Fife. And they were chatting. And Maurice Lindsay, Nicholas Fairbairn, oh, what was it? I think Nicholas Fairbairn said to Maurice Lindsay. No, Maurice Lindsay said to Nicholas Fairbairn. That was it. That was the way around. He said, do you know, Nicholas, if you do more than one thing well in Scotland, they hate you. And Nicky Fairbairn said to him, no, Maurice, if you do one thing well in Scotland, they hate you.
It doesn't matter. See, to be honest with you, Scottie, it doesn't matter where if you do one thing better in Scotland. If you do one thing better anywhere you go to, that's an achievement, is it not?
Well, it is an achievement, but you see, some folk couldn't cope with it. You see, what I was doing on Scott FM was putting the other radio stations under tremendous pressure, and they'd been around for 20 years.
And you smashed it.
People were just leaving them in their droves and coming to join Scott FM and listen to McCLUE.
Well, you never asked me to join you.
You know,
I'd have been there in a minute.
You would have been. You'd have been very good as well. You know, I mean, that's the whole thing, Rab. So I think that the fact it was just so big and so successful, people struggle with that.
Well, you want to get back into doing it instead of on Facebook and Twitter, and you want to get on the telly and do that.
I think so. I think this would be huge in one of these new telly channels.
I'll give your man a phone in a minute.
That would be lovely. And Rob, listen, great hearing from you, and Dinky Doola.
You take care, my man.
You look after yourself, buddy. See you soon.
Take yourself, bud. Take care. I'll see you later.
See you, buddy. What a nice man. That's Rab, a character. Now, Rab's been listening for most of the 30 years I've been doing this. Dinky Doo from North Berwick, Scottie. Hope you're well. Bear on the radio. We love North Berwick. See, a night like tonight, I would be walking down by the harbour and just watching for, this is a magical thing that happened to me. A girlfriend and I were walking by the harbour and a seal came up to see us and then sank down again. Great big seal. Fantastic. You're live in Scottish Phone In. Who's that? Wait till I see that we've got Evan working here. Hello?
Hello.
Hello, who's that?
It's Jerry.
Jerry, how are we tonight, my boy?
Very, very good. Brilliant.
Excellent stuff. Good show tonight, actually, Jerry.
Yes.
Although I say it myself, they all actually are, because, you know, there's an interesting variety of stuff that we're covering.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm. From that point of view. Now, what's happening with you, Jerry?
What's the subject tonight?
Well, the subject, yes. Well, we were talking about... Go on.
Is it Scotland or is it Britain who is the lowest growth?
Britain's got the lowest growth.
Now, I thought we were a wealthy country.
Well, we were until Brexit, when we stupidly shot ourselves in the foot by coming away from the big table. What people didn't realise, they were all conned. Everybody was conned because it was to do with billionaires not paying their tax. The European Union were going to start delving into people's affairs. And somebody obviously said, get us out of there now. Right? So that was that. So the politicians went to work on the people. The Alf Garnets, they encouraged the Alf Garnets, whoa, that's your Churchill, all that stuff. And, got us out of Europe. Now, Churchill would have been spinning in his grave because after the war, 1946, he knew the way ahead was a united Europe with a single army. And that was the thing, Jerry. So it goes back as far as that now. By the 1960s, we were on our knees from the Second World War. We were begging on our knees to join the EU. Well, it wasn't the EU then; it was the single market, the European Commission. You know what I mean? It's been several things with the EU, the EC, but that's just splitting hairs. The single market, and we begged to join the single market. And General Charles de Gaulle very unpolitely said no. And that was our derriere was out la fenêtre. And, I'll just finish this, Jerry, and then I'm going to come back to you. And so we begged. Then eventually in 1971 we get in. Now with 50 years of economic prosperity, no matter how many recessions the government brought in here, we still survived because we were in Europe. There you are now.
And you can see right now where the prices are going.
Yes.
Either shopping, electricity, and petrol, of course.
See, there's somebody saying to me, is the UK government acting like dictators, not even Tory values? I suspect the Tory party has been hijacked because they used to be very patrician. They used to be kind of, they were quite kind to the poor. All that kind of stuff.
Well, earlier speaking, he says that who would take or fit into Boris's shoes on this government? Who would?
Well, the problem is, I'm not going to name names, but I do have a list of names, but none of them I would say are particularly suitable. I think it would be out the frying pan straight into the fire.
But that's what most people are saying, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. That's your problem. You see, the Tories have always struggled to find good leaders. I mean, I'll give you an example. Margaret Thatcher, it was Edward Heath asked the late Edward Heath asked the late Willie Whitelaw, what do you think of me having this woman in as education secretary, I think it was? And Willie said at the time, and he became a great supporter of Margaret Thatcher, but he said to Heath at the time, well, if you get her in, you'll never get her out. And he was right. When she got in, Heath was out.
I know.
And Heath and Thatcher hated each other till their dying days.
That's right. And I watched a programme the other night on Margaret Thatcher and her government, and the only one that really spoke up to her was a Jim Pryor.
Jim Pryor. Jim Pryor was a very nice man, and I think he was one of the ones that she savaged as her wets.
Aye, but it was interesting. BBC 4 and spoke about all our ministers and the way she treated them, and when she went into the room and spoke to them, but a lot of them never answered her back. But Jim Pryor had it out with her a few times.
Yeah, well, Jim Pryor's very, very good. He was a great guy. I'm a huge fan of Jim Pryor. See, I'm not party political, Jerry, and that allows me to see who's the good guys, you know what I mean, on all parties.
Was Pryor Scottish?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Willie Whitelaw had a Scottish background. He was a Scots Guards officer.
Who?
Willie Whitelaw.
Oh, right.
They had estates round, I think it was Gartacharn or somewhere round Loch Lomond way.
Aye.
And he was a Scots Guards officer, and it was very funny, Jerry, because at the time of Charles and Diana's wedding, the wedding was kind of organised by the Lord Chamberlain. The Lord Chamberlain happened to be Sir Charles McLean of Duart in Mull, the big castle that sticks out if you're travelling between Oban and Mull. And Chips McLean, very, very nice man. And he was also a Scots Guards officer. So the Home Secretary and the Lord Chamberlain had been in the Scots Guards together, right? Then, wait, it gets better. The Archbishop of Canterbury at the time, Dr. Robert Rumsey, he'd also been a Scots Guards officer, along with Willie Whitelaw and Chips McLean. So can you imagine if you needed to make something happen in London, and you said, well, we would need permission from the Home Secretary. Ring up Willie and ask him if that's okay. Oh, no, well, we need to talk to the Lord Chamberlain. Ring up Chips and see what he's saying to it, you know. Well, we need to speak to the Archbishop of Canterbury. Ring up Robert and see what he's saying to it.
Well, even I'd watched that programme on Thatcher and the ministers, because what I do, I Google to see who's alive out of them. And it's amazing. There's not many of them living, of course.
No. I'll tell you who was another very nice man was Geoffrey Howe. And she savaged him. She called him, said he was like a dead sheep and things like that. And she savaged him, Geoffrey Howe, and he was a very nice man.
It's Lawson's daughter, not the cook, is that right?
Yes, that's right. Yes, absolutely. Nigella. I love watching her cook. Fantastic.
A lot of men like watching her.
Oh, she can pop round and make my tea anytime.
I must say that I've been watching the what do you call it, the programme for the Queen's
Jubilee
thing.
Aha. What were you thinking, Jerry? Because I know you've got a good open mind.
But no, what stands out is the concert I enjoyed.
Aha.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. And somebody who's really, what do you call it, stood out was, and who's appearing all over Britain, Diana Ross. I thought was brilliant.
Amazing, fantastic. And Rod Stewart, of course.
Oh, aye, but Diana Ross is just, it's just appeared in Glasgow last night, appearing in Liverpool, Birmingham next week. But
she's just supreme.
Ah, he's supreme, that's the word. Brilliant.
Absolutely, Jerry. Well, lovely talking to you as always.
Yes, as always. And take care.
Never a dull moment, and we shall catch up soon. And dinky do.
Thank
you too, our Jerry. There we are. That's Jerry, top professional himself, of course, and great having him on the phone in. Tremendous. Now, I need to get through. We've got all this stuff here tonight. Well said, Scottie, says the wonderful Stephen McCLUE. Evening, Scottie, says Jerry. We've just a Jerry on there. We pay more tax in Scotland, says the wonderful Murray O'Donnell. Quite right, Murray. Good call as usual, Kareem, says Susan. Evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Tony Mack. Kareem's an educated and lovely guy. You could tell him it's Westminster, not Westminster. This is true, Murray, but sometimes the Scots add a wee bit in. I can remember people used to talk about the Admiralty rather than the Admiralty and say, oh, that was buried for a while, but when they dug it up, it was disinterrogated. You know, all that sort of idea. But you're quite right, Murray. There we are. Thank you, Murray, says Kareem. He stands corrected, Murray. Wonderful stuff. Scottie now. There's the wonderful Alan McGee. Kareem says, I'm good, thanks. Going to make dinner. I've Scottie on in the TV in the background. I hope we're doing your television set justice. Highbrow thinking in this chat. Fantastic to have this forum to chat. Stephen McCLUE, you are highbrow thinking, and it's lovely to have you on here as well. Boris Johnson is doing a great job for the SNP in Scotland. Tony, he is. I don't think he means to do as good a job as he's doing, but he's a great advert for nationalism. What was the last pitched battle, Scottie, between England and Scotland before the unification of the crowns? The last pitched battle before 1603. What would you have had there? The last pitched battle. Before 1603, I would have thought Flodden. I would have thought Flodden or Solway Moss, Robert. Flodden was 1513. And you had Solway Moss, I think, was after that. I'm just trying to think, what else did we have in the battles after that one? I'm going to go for Flodden or Solway Moss, if I may go 50-50. I'm not even going to ask you to take the bonnet off, Scotty. No, Alan. Why on earth would Scottie McCLUE take off his bonnet? Good evening, it's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the World Tonight with Scottie McCLUE. Yes, indeed. We may do a lot more television. Might have to take my beard off. Ireland has a separate anthem for the All-Ireland rugby team. Do not sing Molly Malone in Dublin's first city. Fantastic. There we go. Now, what have we got? Lansdowne Road. Agree, Tad. Cherry Picker says, Streaky. Men can get up the duff, says Tad. Yeah, well, I know. Well, once I've heard this, what I'm saying is, what is the risk? Kareem, thank you for sending me all these beautiful gifts on the TikTok. What's the topic tonight, says Streaky Bacon? Streaky Bacon, you're implying that you joined us late. Tut, tut, tutty, tut, 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 tut. I say to you, £159 for a license fee. It's just ridiculous and not worth the money you pay. You're better on here, Robert. Get your education with Scottie McCLUE. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hiya, Scotty. How you doing? It's me, Glenn.
Hey, Glenla. How are we tonight?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
What a show! What a show we've got for you tonight, eh?
First Father's Day coming up tomorrow.
Ah, of course. Father's Day tomorrow. Brilliant.
Nice one, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. I'll remember Big Archie.
Happy Father's Day to all them fathers who are no longer with us, Scotty.
Absolutely. And a very happy Father's Day to you tomorrow. That's brilliant.
Dad, Scotty.
Yes, how's the little one doing?
Yes, she's fine. That we've brought her down to Sheffield for a couple of days, you see.
Beautiful. Very good for her, actually, Sheffield.
Yeah.
Sheffield's actually very good for everyone. I was just telling somebody the other night, Glenn, twice I've lived in Sheffield, and it puts its arms round you.
It puts everything into perspective.
It just gets it right, does Sheffield, you know? Sheffield. A Dronfield.
We went to Meadow Hall today, Scotty, you see.
Oh, and, you like Meadow Hall?
They were playing like a symphony kind of thing, you know, like a marching band.
Nice, yeah.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Was it one of the big Yorkshire bands, I wonder?
I think it was, Scotty, yeah. There were some young people there doing, you know, marching and stuff. Fantastic.
Lovely. Lovely. Very nice. I like Meadow Hall.
They call it Meadow Hall at times, Scotty, don't they?
Meadow Hall. Tell me this. Before Meadow Hall, what was it? Was it big cooling towers?
Oh, is that what it was, Scotty?
Was it? Well, I don't know. I think it was it Potteries that was there?
Oh, yeah, possibly, yeah.
Steelworks, can't remember. Anyway, I love Meadow Hall.
I mean, you know, to think how big that complex is, though, Scotty, it's just...
Well, I'll tell you something. Can you see the car? You've seen the car behind me?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, that came from Meadow Hall.
Brilliant.
Fantastic, you know what I mean?
I mean, they got rid of the Tinsley Viaducts, didn't they?
Tinsley, yeah. Now, Tinsley, did that have a sign saying Fitzwilliam Works?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They blew them up. They blew them up, didn't they?
Have they gone, the old Fitzwilliam Works?
You know, the ones on the motorway, leading to the motorway.
Yeah. Well, can I tell you, you maybe know about this, but the Fitzwilliams, obviously very, very, very wealthy family, Wentworth Woodhouse, and the Fitzwilliams went into motor car production.
Right.
And they were going to rival Rolls-Royce with their motor cars. And you can still see them about. It was called the Sheffield Simplex.
Oh, yeah.
And Billy Fitzwilliam in the First World War had actually brought a lot of these cars out as armoured cars.
Brilliant.
And I've seen it. I saw it at a display at Wortley Hall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, do you know Wortley Hall?
I've heard of this.
You've heard of Wortley Hall? And I saw a display there of a Sheffield Simplex. Beautiful. Great big monster. And I felt very proud because you think about it, all the engineering and metal skills in Sheffield.
all originated from Sheffield, Scotty.
No problem making a card, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we don't get none of that now, Scotty, do we, to be fair?
No. I remember talking to an old guy who said to me that in Sheffield, when he was young, the snow never ever lay in the town.
Yeah.
Because there was that many furnaces, it just melted.
Everything's been all exported to foreign climates now, Scotty.
Yeah. And the furnaces were coming out, the heat was coming out into the street, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you ever think cities will ever get the steel back in England, Scotty?
I don't know. When I was a kid, everything, if you wanted proper cutlery, Sheffield plate.
I mean, you look on old-fashioned knives, don't you, Scotty?
Yeah, Sheffield. Even your pen knife when I was little, Sheffield.
Yeah, exactly.
And I used to dream of it. I used to think someday I'd like to go there.
I mean, and now look, Scotty, innit?
I didn't think I'd be talking to the whole of the population of the city.
Right. So, like I said, Scotty, I like to look at all archives and stuff, you know, how Sheffield used to be.
I can remember going to a meeting with a guy, and this bloke says to the guy, "Can I have a little bit of background on you?" And I said, "Do you want a little bit of background on me?" He went, "No, everyone knows you."
If anybody don't know you, Scotty, what planet have you been on for the last 30 years?
I tell you, didn't you do? There's a guy sending me best wishes, and he was he's saying he was in the Slammer at the time.
Brilliant. But everybody's got the chance to reform anyway, Scotty.
Of course they have. A fantastic. Happy Father's Day tomorrow. I love my special daddy, says Lonely. How are we doing, mate? Says Jess.
You know that new channel what's come out, the on terrestrial TV, Scotty? You need to get on there, don't you?
I need to get on there. We need somebody to speak up for me.
Because you've got JK, JW, you've got P, and all that.
Yep, absolutely. We need to get on there. It wouldn't do any harm. They could try it out for an hour on a Friday night or an hour on a Saturday night. See how it goes. And I could tell you, it'll be a winner.
Because you are the weakest link. She's been on it as well, Scotty, talking to Piers anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. They should get McCLUE on there. It would be very good for them.
You know, like when Piers does live stories.
Yes, very good.
Can you imagine Scotty's live story?
Oh, get right in there, tell it like it is, eh?
you turn some heads there, Scotty, won't you, for definite?
We'd turn a few heads, I can tell you. Plus, if you get the texts, the emails, the whole lot, Glenn.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, listen, I'm going to dash off because we're getting tight for time, but it's lovely to hear you, as always.
And to you, Scotty, as well.
And good luck for tomorrow, and give the wee one a hug from all of us.
I will do, and all the best to you and everybody, Scotty.
You take care of you, lad. Dinky do.
Dinky do, Scotty.
Dinky do, my boy. What a top man. That's our Glenn from Sheffield. Now, who we got here? Scotty brings good vibes. That's who we need to be part of our lives, says the wonderful Stephen. 70s with Steptoe and Son, Opportunity Knocks, Morecambe and Wise, and the two Ronnies. Brilliant. Tad, what a great Saturday night. We used to rush home from the rugby club, right? And the rugby club was very kind of addictive, shall we say, because we're all giving it that, and we thought, right, better go, Parkinson's on. And we'd rush home and see Parkinson, because he had people like Fred Astaire and David Niven and Lauren Bacall and all that sort of stuff on. You thought, wow, this is amazing. I think you'd be a great SNP leader, Scotty, says Thomas. Thomas, that's very kind of you. There we are. Although I'm not really a party political man. I might make a good Scottish leader, keep you all in order and stop your nonsense. That sort of idea. Why is Westminster so determined to hold on to Scotland? Probably because England would have nothing to trade with. Well, there is that, Neil, but also it's a cash cow. You're live in Scottish Funny, and who's that?
Oh, Scotty is numptied.
Numptied? What are you doing tonight? Now, listen, were you watching from the start tonight? I think I was a bit early.
No, I slept in, Scotty. It didn't come on till 9:20.
So you were late?
I was late again.
Tut, tut, tutty, tut. Now then, How are you, Numpty Heed? Lovely to hear you, by the way.
Aye. You've heard of me, Scotty?
We've heard, everybody's heard of you.
That's good. Now listen, Scotty.
They all talk to me, they go, what's that Numpty Heed like on your phone in? I say, oh, he's nice guy, good guy.
Now
Don't be fooled.
You need to make this show a lot longer, because I've got 70 minutes free a month, and you're the only one that's on my trusted callers list, and I've still got 695 minutes to use up for the morning, so please stay on. You
are a privilege, that's what you are. Where'd you get all these? You must be able to do some deal. I should have you negotiating my fees.
Absolutely, Scotty. Anyway, here,
703 minutes.
News at 10, Scotty, right? I like watching the news at 10.
Yes.
And I like to have a cup of tea and have the feet up while the news at 10 comes on. But sometimes it doesn't come on till 10:15.
Well, I think it depends on what's going on. You see, I don't think you should ever muck about with the news. ITN, when I worked for ITV, ITN was just the golden boy, right? And ITN was started by a guy called David Nicholas, who's just died about a week ago, a couple of weeks ago. Sir David Nicholas. And you know, this guy, Numpty Heed, I got to meet him because I started a radio station in central Scotland, and I took ITN News. And they knew me from the ITV days. And then I got to meet them all, you know, Trevor MacDonald and John Suchet and Sir David Nicholas. We were talking to him at the end of the night, and he said to me, he said, if there's anything I can do for you. No, he said, what is it? He said, give us a phone if there's anything you need. He said, and if there's anything I can do for you, tell them to put you on to me.
And did they put you on to him?
Yes.
Well, that was good then.
Lovely man, and his now widow, Lady Nicholas. She was lovely as well. And he said that, and he meant it. And they were the nicest people. And these were very, very, very senior people in the industry.
Aye. Now, Scotty, have you ever noticed you're live on the phone in as well? You know.
Yes. Yes, I'm.
No sweary words.
No sweary words. We can't risk it. In fact, we're just about to run out of time. I'll say dinky do to thee.
All right then. Cheerio.
Cheerio, bye. Ta-ta, la-la. There we are. That's Numpty Heed just up late. He used to accuse me of being late. I'm driving my cab here tonight and loving it. Nice to listen to you, says Bear on the radio. That's brilliant, Bear. Hello, says Bryn. Is the UK government acting like dictators? We've done that one. It'll still be the anthem well after Nicola. Yes, indeed. Dinky do. Happy Father's Day tomorrow. There we are. Happy Father's Day to Big Daddy McCLUE. Ireland is a separate anthem. Well, we've done that one, haven't we? Fantastic. So much feedback. I want your hat, says Scottie here. Dinky do, Scottie. How the devil are you, Squire, says Big P. There we are. Thoughts on hash browns. I don't really do the hash browns now, to be absent, unless I was talking to a family on Twitter. I don't have live TV. I don't pay the BBC fee. Not done so in years. There's the wonderful Kenneth Clark. Good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Kenneth. Dennis Healy made the dead sheep comment. Being savaged by a dead sheep. Are you sure, Stephen, it wasn't Thatch? The BBC is full of do-gooding lefties nowadays. You're so educated, Scottie, says the lovely Lily Patterson. Well, Lily, you would know, because so are you, I say to you. There's a wonderful Alan McGee. Guys, we're just about to run out of time. I'm going to say dinky-doo to all my gorgeous, gorgeous TikTokers. We're going to have to dash off. Thank you for joining us tonight. This show has been a blast. I think it can't get any better, and then it does. Oh, good night. God bless dinky-doo and taralas. That's our beautiful TikTokers have had to go. There we are. It's only an hour because that's all you can get if you're downloading it for those that couldn't join us, those less fortunate than ourselves. Good morning, Scottie from Australia. Dinky-doo. How's the First Lord of the Internet? Lovely to have you with us. I say, what's your thoughts on the forthcoming RMT rail strike, Scottie? Well, they need to get their pennies. They work hard. News on shortly. Night, Jerry. Hi, Scottie McCLUE. A big dinky do from Aaron. Bless you, my man. Dinky do, Aaron. Comedy has become far too woke and political now that I can't laugh at it. Tad, I understand where you're coming from. This is Scottie McCLUE saying dinky do to every single one of you. Thanks for watching. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 about Scottie McCLUE on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Facebook Live. Ta-da, lads!